Awesome.
Now, before we go into our lists, if anybody has honorable mentions, let's get them out now. I'm going to start. I have 2. I didn't include them on my list because technically they didn't happen on the show, even though they are under their banners. The first one was the Daddy Don't Slap Me series, featuring Ken Knapsack from Comic Book, because those are hilarious. Great, and the other honorable mention is the Halloween Horror Nights video, where they took Josh McCouga to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Nice. Classic.
I did a reaction video to that.
So yeah, those are the only 2 reasons why I didn't include them on there, is because they didn't technically happen on the show, even though they are under the banners. If you guys included them on your list, cool.
Okay. All right. I have an honorable mention.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah. Now, my honorable mention was on my list half an hour before the show started.
Oh.
But I just had to swap it up because technically it's not a moment. It's more like an episode, or rather a theme that ran through an entire episode of SCN Live. And it was the episode where everybody kept sending the musical stuff from the Schmobot.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody started sending songs.
Yep.
And it was just hilarious. And I had stuff to do that day, but I stopped everything to just sit back and watch the full episode because I just enjoyed myself. And like every 5 minutes, they got like the Fresh Prince intro, then the Smash Mouth, and No Scrubs, and Ben, you came in with the Friends song, and just
really,
yeah. Ben said the entire. You know what, Matt? I made a video about that. I can send it to you later in the.
Yes, please. I will admit I'm behind an SCN Live because once COVID kind of hit, I kind of fell off of it a little bit. I've watched the occasional episode here and there, but
you've missed the best stuff though.
Well, thank you. I got to say thank you to Matt Link for actually posting the clip out so I can actually keep track of what's going on.
Yep.
So shout out to him.
Watching the clip out, watching the full show is not the same.
Well, I have an honorable mention, and it's kind of a cheat because it's just anytime Kate does her Chicago accent, it's my favorite thing in the world. So that was my honorable mention because it's not really like a moment; it's just anytime that she does it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Agreed.
Yeah, and my honorable mention. So there are just like so many amazing moments. Like I had so much fun this week going back through all the episodes, all the clips. I mean, I probably watched hours of like past content this week, so it was a lot of fun. So I'm just loving this topic, but I'll just go through them quick because they're just kind of small little like moments here. One of them, just anytime Christian rags on the trolls, like I love when he rags on the trolls, and just like freaks out, like oh my gosh, and just like you have the little troll voice. Then also too was the debut of Tom Dagnino as Finstock when you're just kind of creeping around in the back of the show for like 30 minutes, just kind of back there, and like no one knew who he was, and like everyone was like, "What is going on? What's with this guy?" And he had the mask on and everything. So there's that one. I also got to give a shout out to the Jean-Claude Van Damme interview, one of the weirdest interviews.
You want some cookies?
It's just like, totally, yeah. And then also too the Josh Robert Thompson as Morgan Freeman as Jar Jar Binks. That was a classic.
I hope none of these were in people's top 5s. You're just blowing through them.
One just blowing through them, but if we really get to the top 5,
you might want to look at your notes real quick.
Well, so when we get to the top 5, we'll go in a little more in depth. I'm just just kind of blowing through them quick, but if you guys have these on your top 5, we'll go more in depth.
Well, I know you have one of those in your top 5.
Oh yeah. No.
Okay.
I switched it out. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my number 5. It is from a Collider Live, and it was from it was around the time that Roxy and Makuga kind of had their little spat on air. It was Brett Sheridan uttering the immortal words, "Suck my pussy."
Yeah, that almost made my list. That was close.
That was the first instance where we saw the sniper Brett Sheridan just out of nowhere with a comment. Like, what the hell?
Like, who is this dude?
Right?
Yeah, you see Josh McCouga just get up and walk out. He was done. He's had it. He's like,
yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't like the bad language.
Which I understand, especially now that after in hindsight he was doing the eating history, whatever. I get it, but it's like, come on, dude, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with like Roxy and Christian there, those two alone, you're gonna get.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, Brett would suck my pussy. It's like, what the?
Yeah, that's like such an unlike Brett Sheridan thing at that time. Now it's not so much, but like at that time, it was just kind of like whoa. So yeah.
Because you see the Brett Sheridan of today, you kind of look back at some of the stuff he did back on Schmoes Know and the Collider Live days, and you kind of start to see the beginnings of the sniper. Like one time, it was like I think Roxy wanted to say something, and Brett was like, "No, you're a woman. Don't do your makeup."
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite version of Brett Sheridan. But it's funny. You look at him on SCN Live, and you look or Collider Live, and you look at him on Schmoes. He was way more reserved on Collider Live.
Yeah.
By
the way,
because he was afraid he want to get fired.
Yep.
By the way, I did actually went back and watch a few the old Schmoes Know stuff, and I looked at Brett Sheridan when he had a bit more full head of hair. He was shaved. He looked good.
Well, have you ever seen his Yapworth modeling picture?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it's a funny thing because Mark Ellis was on the show that day, and he said, "Hey guys, what if Brett really blows up in the next 5 years? And who's gonna play with the movie?" Like, okay, who's flying an airplane right now?
Yeah, somebody is.
I live on a main street, so sometimes you'll just hear cars.
Yeah, but the thing I wanted to focus on what Mark Ellis said. Keywords: what if Brett Sheridan blows up in the next 5 years? That was 4 years ago.
Yeah, and here's what I'm thinking about that. He's facing Kevin Smith at the Spectacular. What if that is his big break?
Yeah.
That was a spoiler. Okay.
Seriously. And also, I still want to see Brett Sheridan on Sesame Street. There was a little bit of a campaign to get him on Sesame Street. So I hope that actually goes through.
Can you imagine if Brett Sheridan impresses Kevin Smith enough that he actually gets into a movie?
As the awesome. Klaus!
Yes.
The Klaus and a Kevin Smith.
The Klaus. Oh my gosh, yes.
We need to make that match go viral. We need to just tweet it out to like anyone who's anyone famous.
Because Brett is too goddamn talented to just be stuck on an internet TV show. As proven though, and he did the 3 impressions in one shot.
Right.
Did you see that this week?
Yep. Wasn't it like 5?
When somebody pledged in $40 and he did Elmo, he did
Anaconda.
Yeah, he did all 3 of them and without it seamlessly. Like, he's talented.
You will not want to get a snake. You need to take a snake and you put it inside.
I think my favorite expression in here.
So good.
That is no bueno.
And on that note, Ben, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is the Commander Life Break with the French heroes, and they set Brett to crash an episode.
Yep.
But really, they knew about it, and it was all set up to get horror.
Yeah.
It was funny as heck.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. It was so good.
My favorite thing to come out of that is the thumbnail they used for when they clipped it out. It's Brent has that look in mid-run like, oh shit.
Yep. Yeah, I also like watching it from the other perspective. Like you can watch Heroes, you can see the moment when it actually comes in like that and interrupts it, so that's fun too.
Could you imagine if Schnepp was around?
Oh man, that would have been epic.
Dang it. Why'd you have to go there?
Because I'm an asshole.
Why you gotta do us like that?
Yeah.
Well, at least you admit that.
Yeah. But no, I think if Schnepp was there, man, that segment would have been gold. And
yeah, Schnepp would have loved Collider Live. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Schnepp would have loved SCN Live. He would have loved all of it.
Yep, he would have been down for that.
Would have been better.
Yeah. May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Big Squiddy.
Yeah. All right, Jordan, you're number 5.
So my number 5 is actually one we've mentioned kind of just in our conversation, but it was the drunk movie news from Ken Knapsack. So punt. All right.
Punt. Okay.
Punt.
You want to talk about it now, or do you want to
later?
Okay, we're gonna save it. So we'll talk about it when Matt gets to it.
Kate Saul, you're number 5.
So my number 5 is the Bagel Boy stuff.
Oh, there you go.
And I think
stealing your bagels and stealing your bitch.
Okay, you're gonna make me spit my drink out.
Yes, because the Matthew Reed, who is a genius, who now has I'm So Sorry Legs, who did this the swag theme song. I just hope that he does more and more songs going further. But that song was amazing. The fact that everyone ragged on him as Bagel Boy goes, the fact that he got pissed off about it, like every single part of that story was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It was just unfortunate Ben didn't take to it.
Right. I was so hoping for him to be Bagel Boy in the show.
He handled it a little bit better than Marzonia did when they called him.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because like Ben Goddard, he took or so much shit when he first came onto the show, like just so much over and over and over. It was like a thing, like we're almost taking my moneymaker to just put in some kind of thing about Ben Goddard for the Schmobot to say, just to insult him, and they're like almost like making money off of him, and like he just took it so well that like a lesser person probably would have gotten pissed, or had an issue, but he never really did. Like he just kind of rolled with it. So that's how you know he's a perfect fit for that show, that type of atmosphere.
I think he only went off once, and the way he went off was in a funny manner. That like even though he was completely serious, the way it looked like to the fans, it was funny.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't know he was on an episode of Movie Fights.
No.
I didn't.
Back in the day, they used to have the fan cam, so a fan would be sitting beside the fact checker.
Oh, I remember him talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy! I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I could tell you what episode it was, but yeah, it was that long ago.
Huh.
Yeah, I think he said that on SEN once, and I was like, "Oh, you just like reminded me."
Okay.
Yeah, Ben's good shit.
Yeah, it's like a golden rule in the army that they always pick on the new guy, and I know that firsthand. But the problem is he's been on the show for about a year now, and now they have Sabrina, and everybody is fine with Sabrina, and they're still shitting on Ben.
Not gonna pick on the women.
Like, guys, you're not getting the rule here. You gotta shit on the new guy. Ben was the new guy a year ago.
Yep.
But Sabrina's
he already went through his hazing.
I think too, the reason why they don't want to shit on Sabrina is just because of all the shit that she took from the movie trivia showdown community after that match. Yeah. Those guys, man.
It's really unfortunate, but yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't mean to shit on Sabrina, just in a playful way, in a fun way.
Right, exactly.
Sabrina's going to take it well, because she's a perfect fit for the show. She would take that in stride, and she would pull out her her impression with the J-Lo and the 40 Sabrina. She'd run with it. She's gonna have fun with it. Just don't be disgusting. Don't be a fucking douche.
Yeah, but I can see why they're towing the line with that, just because of the fact that happened. So like it makes sense that they're not going in as hard at her because of what ended up happening with her. I think there's a way she can definitely 100% take it, and she can dish it out too.
Yeah, definitely.
She's a warrior.
She's got that Latina spitfire in her.
And as a Latina myself, we're able to dish it out.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your number 5, Peggy?
All right, I'm going to preface this. I'm not muted anymore, am I?
No, you're on.
We're good. All right.
I can hear you.
I always have to check. I will preface this that I did not get into the Schmodown until March of 2019, so I had to do kind of a deep dive of what I could find on YouTube and rewatches and try to like learn a little bit about I've seen like past Schmodown matches, but we were looking for like SEN, Collider Live, Schmoes Know moments. I went with the 200th episode of the Schmoes Know when Ken Knapsack just basically roasted Christian and Mark for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that is a great moment. It's unfortunate that whole episode is off the air.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I watched it 4 days ago.
Yeah, really? Because I got the list and it says private video. It's only
private. Yeah,
I watched it 2 days ago.
You must have watched a clip out.
That might be the case. I probably didn't see the whole thing. It was basically just Ken just ripping into them, and I was dying laughing. Knapsack is a comedic genius.
I agree with you. I think the reason why he was taken down, though, is because of the whole cocaine donkey thing that was Scott Manson's nickname at the time.
I didn't catch that part. Yeah. If this probably wasn't part of it, that's probably why.
Yeah. Anytime Ken roasts anybody, it's comedic gold.
Yeah. Even Ken Knapsack is the reason why my wife will actually watch the show. Like she
is that her favorite?
That's her favorite, yeah, because she's not really like a huge fan. Usually when I'm watching, she's like, oh, he's just doing this thing, watching his community stuff, whatever. But then when Ken Knapsack's on, she always kind of perks up a little bit because he is
a national treasure.
Yeah, my wife's down for his style of humor, I'll just say.
Let me ask you this. Ben or not Ben, Brett or Ken Napzok?
Oh, don't make me choose.
Yeah,
I'm making you
choose.
If someone who has a prepared bit, Napzok every time. If it's someone who like improvs in the moment, I guess
there you go.
I might be leaning towards Brett.
Nice save.
But then at the same time too, I think Ken can sometimes come up with things.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying he can't. No, because he's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just better when he's prepared, when he's writing something.
For sure.
Oh no, because when he's writing something, it's like a syringe right into the fucking like heartbeat of the joke. Like he's got that.
Yeah. But if you want to see how good Ken is off the cuff, when they did during the beginning time of COVID, they did a Schmoes No reunion show, and he actually did the news improv.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
And that was awesome. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, Ken Napzok, I like to say is my spirit animal.
Right on.
Mine's David Wambach, but to each their own.
Okay. I think mine would be Ali Wong if I had to choose a spirit.
Hey Ben.
What
happened?
Okay. He's back.
50. What's yours number 5?
Okay, my number 5 is the only moment from Schmoes No. I didn't actually watch a lot of the Schmoes No. It just really wasn't my thing back in the day. But this one really stuck to me, and I think it's the perfect explanation of what that show is. And I think it's so great, but it's a moment that I don't think a lot of people remember. They just started the show, and Harloff did exactly what you said. He was talking about in his troll voice, like someone sort of mentioned on an after show or something that they cleaned it up, and it's like, oh, of course they cleaned it up. It's Collider. And then fuck.
Yep.
Fuck. And then they all just started joining in, and Jeremy Johns was there, and they were all like doing this from the Suicide Movie, and they were like, fuck. And it just went on for like a couple of minutes. And I think maybe RB3 did a rap song about that, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was just so fun, and it was my best memory from the Schmoes No era.
Yeah, that's what I missed the most about the Schmo stuff. It's just it was must-see TV. It was only once a week, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was only once a week.
See, the funny thing is,
for it, though.
Yeah, the funny thing is, when I first came into this community, I was only interested in the movie stuff, and that was like half an hour to 40 minutes long. And when the Schmoes No stuff came about, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can devote 2 hours of my time. And now I mean, like, the John Campus show, 2 hours. SCN 2 hours every day. I watch the Geekdom show is 2 hours. The Outlaw Nation is sometimes 3 hours. Now I'm just watching it all the time. So, but back then, content. 2 hours a day seemed like a little too much for me. To me, today, I mean, hell, I'm on a 2 hour show right now. So, yeah,
yeah.
How times change.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you know, in Israel, we have this song. Whoa, which basically. It's basically how the tables have turned, but it's like how the wheel is rolling, how things change over time.
Nice, yeah. I kind of thinking going back to like the like hazing. I see there's a comment here from the let's see what the let's get ready to schmo down. It says, okay, 50 Shades, I'm going to go at her because you said to, and he's referring to Sabrina. So we'll see what happens.
Oh,
it just made me laugh.
If you saw that, if that's you, Shug, take it easy.
Probably a Shug. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right.
Okay, so
just don't mention my name in that.
Yeah, you didn't hear it here at all.
He's gonna say, "Hey, Sabrina, blah 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 blah." 50 Shades made me say that.
Okay, so my number 4 is also from the Schmoes No Show. It is the celebrity dating game moment where they pranked Sasha by having Jamie Costa come up.
Yes. Yes.
Is that on your list?
I think it's my 4. I'm gonna double check.
Perfect.
We'll move it. It was my number 3, but we'll move it to my 4. That's fine.
Okay. So yeah, no, that was the first instance that I was introduced to Jamie Costa. Just his genius of an impression, and I love how Sasha thought it was like all these other people, even though it sounded nothing like them.
Yeah. The thing is, it was like. there was like 10 people in there, and he had like 17 characters.
Yeah, she's like, she's like, do Robin Williams right now, and he like tries, and he can't even pull it off like for a second. It's great.
Yeah, that's another instance of why I miss most no shows, because you could do stuff like that. You can't necessarily do it right now in the digital age, and be the kind of setting they were in for Collider and SCN.
Yeah,
it was special.
Yep.
Unless they get a bigger studio similar to the Schmoes Know stuff, maybe then they can do that.
Which hopefully they do when this ends. And the
Harloff did mention that they're working on it.
Yep, for sure. I know.
Yeah,
I would love to see the return of the celebrity dating game.
Yeah, did you guys also see when they had Ross Marquand on there from The Walking Dead, and he did the same thing. He pranked everybody doing all the voices, and like he has a spot on John C. Reilly that's like freaking like amazing. He can do John C. Reilly perfectly, and then he has a solid Jack Nicholson. He also does John Malkovich. That's another one that he pulls off.
And as we found out in Infinity War, he's got a really good Red Skull.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's a Red Skull. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's him in that movie.
Oh, wow.
And Endgame.
And bananas.
And Endgame, correct? Okay, Ben, you're number 4.
My number 4 is also from the Schmoes Know. It was when the cat punched the director.
Yes, that one almost made my list. It just missed the cut.
Not the actual moment, because I don't think you can find it.
No, because it happened on camera.
It wasn't on camera. It was on the break.
On camera.
The aftermath. Oh my God, that was so funny. How everyone hold up and try to just scared to death of this cat.
Yeah, from the sound of it, it sounded like the cat was possessed by a demon or something.
Well, here's the thing. From what I've gathered from watching those old episodes, Sasha's cat's an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was one of those things, like, they never act this way. They never act this way. But then, like, right when you introduce them to someone new, they act that way and, like claw your face.
That's my human. Get away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
he never acts like this.
That was a great moment. That really was.
Peggy's getting a refill.
I am.
Gotta refill the
Something
sippy
wrong
cup.
with that?
No,
Nope,
I'm just wondering
nothing.
what that is in your counter. Is that an elaborate bomb?
Is what?
It looks
There's
like
the
a
camera.
water thing.
It looks like an old camera to me.
I don't know what you're looking at.
The red
The
thing.
red
beside
thing.
his
The
fridge.
red thing on the.
Oh, the little
that.
coffee maker?
Oh, coffee maker.
It's an espresso.
Oh, okay.
Fancy.
Yeah, very
Not
good.
really.
I love the way you said it. It's an espresso.
George Clooney lured me in. That's not mine. I don't know. This is not my place.
Hey, if it's George Clooney,
Yeah, nope, definitely not.
no judgment for
We're
me.
in there.
See, going back to that moment though, do you guys think those directors had the similar feeling when and if they watched the Captain Marvel movie? When the cat takes out Nick Fury's eye,
Oh, yeah.
Flashback PTSD.
it's like, oh, mother flirkin'.
Yep.
I love it.
Like I know the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nobody knows Rookie of the Year.
Funny thing is, they actually changed the way Scar looked like after the movie. It's like when he appeared in Far From Home, the Scar kind of looked different than all the previous movies because
Really?
he needed to look more like a cat scratch.
I
Yeah,
never noticed.
I did. I was looking for that when he
Oh.
showed up in. And also, it wasn't actually Nick Fury at that time. It was a Skrull, and it was Ben Mendelsohn. He was there when it happened, so he's got to look authentic.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert for a movie that came out almost 2 years ago.
I know.
Spoiler.
I just love when people say spoiler alert for something that came out like years and years and years ago. It's like,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, one of my favorite things was when they on the Schmoes Know, they'd always have Cody throwing up spoiler alerts for random stuff that wasn't even like really supposed to be a spoiler.
Fun fact.
But he just
blah,
throw it
blah,
up.
blah, blah, blah.
I
Yep.
missed Cody Hall with Christian Harloff.
Yes,
Yeah, I
bring
do.
Cody back.
Yeah, they need Cody. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, as long as he's implied in Political Collider, it's never going to happen.
I know, it's sad. His talents are being underutilized over there.
100%.
Yeah.
He's when it comes to the wangers, Cobster's the brain, but Cody's the heart.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Heart and soul. And spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Yep.
there we go, Ben. Okay, Jordan, what is your number 4?
So my number 4 is actually forget Angry Riley. My number 4 is actually Angry Brett Sheridan. Like, if you've seen some of his rants, where he just
goes
off. So, like, one of my favorite ones is actually was the one when someone called his mom a cunt online in like some kind of like comment section, and like he just freaked out. He's like, "What the hell kind of person would go online and just find some random person because of what they didn't like about them, and they'd call their mom a cunt? What the hell is wrong with people? Seriously!" And like he started freaking out. And then also too, he received some kind of death threats about like not liking a movie. I want to say it was one of the Star Wars movies, but I can't remember for sure. There's some movies that they didn't like, and so he actually received death threats. And so he also had an epic rant about that too. It's like, what is wrong with people? Which is all about like trolls in the comment section, and like, just some epic stuff. It's so good.
I was afraid you were going to take my number 3, but I have a completely different Brett Sheridan.
Okay, good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That Brett rant about his mom always somehow, like, it seems like once a month pops up in some group I'm in.
Yeah, right.
You're right. It's epic. It's like watching it's like watching anger in Inside Out lose his shit.
Yeah. The thing about
like I am right now.
The thing about Brett is like,
I think it's because he's like typically like just the happy-go-lucky, go with the flow guy. So then when you do see his anger moments, it's like, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah. Until you
next Tuesday. Yep, he's just totally calm until he's not.
Yep, he's a sniper.
Yep.
I think the whole thing, someone clipped that whole thing out, and it's like, stop being shitty to people on the internet or something, and you can see the thumbnail. It says Brett yelling, and his face is all red and stuff.
Yeah, that's the clip that, like I said, it seems like every month it appears in a group I'm in.
Yeah, but I just wish that they wouldn't hide the Brett and Kate show behind a paywall. I wish that would just out there for everyone to see it. I mean, I pay for it because it's worth it, but I mean, it's just it needs to be.
When I was a Patreon, it was definitely my favorite thing they did. Okay, so Saul, you're number 3. Or you're number 4.
So my number 4 is been mentioned before, but Ken's drunk news. And the main reason I was saying earlier that like, oh, this is kind of a cheat because the reason he was drunk is right before he did the drunk movie fight.
Drunk movie fights.
Okay, you want to talk about it now then? Because it's my number 1.
Yep, and it's my number
4. Yeah.
My number 5, so.
Okay, let's just talk about it now. Yes, and I agree with you. I consider it cheat too because I considered the whole thing, him drinking, getting the Brad Pitt age correct,
right,
winning the whole freaking thing, and then
because he got the age correct was the only reason he won.
And then you go look at it from the schmo's perspective. In the middle of the show, Harlow says, "Oh shit," and he just texted me, Ken is drunk.
yeah, there's that moment.
And then he comes in and delivers the best performance of the news ever while drunk. And apparently he had to stop the car on the way there to throw up. He might have pissed himself at one point after a drink. It's just holy crap.
Because they were completely hammered on that movie fights, and it was like one of the best movie fights ever.
Yeah, it is the only one I will still go back and rewatch.
I
don't think I've seen it. Even in my deep dive, I don't think I saw it.
Okay, I'm gonna send
me the link after. Yes, thank you.
I'll send it to you in the group.
Yeah,
perfect.
My favorite moment of that was when he just straight up said, "Oh yeah, spoiler alert, I won."
Yeah. Yep.
And he was trying to read the news. He was like, "The Han Solo movie."
And my favorite thing too about him getting the drunk movie fights belt too is that he broke it on camera, right as he got it.
I didn't see that.
It had two
cans.
It had 2 cans on the side of it that were glued on, and they were painted gold. And he ripped one off by accident.
When was that? Was that on the movie fights, or was that later?
That was later. The final drunk movie fights that they did for the drunk movie fights champion, which ended up winning, and then he broke it.
Because I remember he showed up with that belt to one of his Schmodown matches before when he was still part of the Nerds Watch. He showed up with the belt, I think.
Yeah, he might have fixed it by then, but yeah, it was. Okay. He received the belt and then the thing fell off, and it was one of the funniest.
Yeah, but I remember that. Quality belts. Yeah.
Yeah. What I love about that belt is that it says the drunk movie fights champion.
Oh,
champion.
I never seen it up close, but that's funny.
No, I think Dan Merle actually read that online.
I'm going to send the full drunk episode in the chat, and then I'm going to send the news.
Okay.
The news.
All right.
Okay, so
I'm going to say this one headline brought to you by Claude.com.
so and with that, Peggy, you said your number 4 was the same as mine from earlier.
Yeah, when Jamie Costa did McConaughey, then he did Depp, then he did Gandalf, and then he did Lovitz and Owen Wilson and Robin Williams, all like within the same like time period, and like yeah, it was fantastic.
And the best part of that too is like when you see him do it, is like his whole face transforms into it. Like he did Robin Williams, and he like looks like him.
That's
It's
impressive.
crazy.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah, so that's fun.
What I love most about that moment is that they show the camera on Sasha, and when one of the quote unquote celebrity suitors is talking, they cut back to the table, and it's just Jamie Costa popping his head out of the table and just speaking something into the microphone, and just goes back under the table like a whack-a-mole.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no! I have a better analogy. Phenomena.
Phenomena.
Yep.
I played that in high school jazz band.
Nice. Was that the same one with that RB3 doing the James Earl Jones impressions? Because I know he did one with that.
It's not a part of the show at that point, I don't think.
Okay, there must have been another clip that I watched.
Era of shows.
I will say, as a band kid, I'm very glad that they never forced us to play that song.
Yep, same. I was a band kid too.
What instrument did you play?
I played the trumpet. So
okay,
the first chair for like a week.
Saxophone player for 22 years.
So I'm a clarinet player, but then I ended up marching baritone.
Oh, nice.
I played clarinet for like 2 years in like elementary school.
I'm president of the local terrace community band, so that's how.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I sing in the shower sometimes.
Me too.
I like to listen to music.
I tend to lip sync more than I sing. It's better.
Funny enough, I found the best time to sing is after band rehearsal because my throat is so warmed up from playing my instrument that long that I can actually sing in tune properly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, that's music talk. 50, what is your number 4?
Okay, my number 4 is the one that actually replaced the one, speaking of music, it actually replaced the one that I put in my honorable mentions. And also, speaking of Cody, it was the episode of Collider Live when they started with Cody's birthday.
Yes.
And they started the episode with like, it's my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And then just goes into Cody. He's got like the sunglasses. I wish I had my sunglasses at the moment, but he put on his sunglasses and he was like, that's right, everybody. It's Cody's birthday. We're talking Super Mario, Pokemon, and baseball. Now, Christian, Josh, what are you guys want to talk about? And then just pouring an entire bucket of colorful balls on him, and then for the rest of the episode, they just play with those balls.
Yep.
In a fun way.
Yep.
Yeah, that for me, SCN Live, that is the dynamic that's missing. It's the booth stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, the Booth Boys.
Yeah.
The Collider Live, the Booth Boys is the reason why you cannot just listen to that show on the podcast. You need to watch it.
100%.
You have to watch it. Yep.
Yeah, you can't just listen to it. You have to
do this once in a while.
Yep. I don't want to say too much because I did a cheat about some Cody Hall stuff that's coming up on my list. So
Okay.
I'll talk more about that later.
Okay, so in that case, we'll just head on to my number 3 then, which is not a funny moment, but it is for me an endearing moment. It's back in the AfterBuzz days of Schmoes Know. It is when the boys interviewed Mark Hamill, and at the very end of the interview, you see them reach behind their person on the panel's back and they high five each other. Like I said, it's not a funny moment, but it's a moment where you can see two lifelong nerds talking to their idols, and it's like I said, it's an endearing moment because you actually see the people behind the schmoes. You know what I mean?
Yep. Like mission accomplished.
Yeah, pretty much. It reminded me of like, if I don't know if any of you guys have seen Tango and Cash, it reminded me of their high five. But it's just like it actually had something meaningful behind it.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah. Ben, what is your number 3?
Okay, my number 3, I'm going to use my phone for something.
Your what?
Everyone
Time to begin.
Okay,
just in time.
Okay, so back in the days of Collider Live, they would play sound bites and stuff like that, and they played the Zoobly Zoo theme song, which is probably one of the worst theme songs ever. And Makuga and
shut your mouth.
The
Stuff of nightmares. Yeah,
they would give them nightmares, and so they would randomly just drop it, and you would see them like, "Ah, fuck this," and throw off their headphones. It became a very, very funny bit. Yeah.
There's so many good bits that are surrounding that. Like we start playing it, and then you see Josh Makuga just throw his headphones up, then he grabs some kind of picture off the wall, and he starts destroying it. It's like, I hate my life, and he's just like just going crazy, just like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's again things you don't see on SCN Live. Like, they got their own bits, but it just was something different.
Something funny is that I was actually watching a stream of Mark Riley on Twitch the other day, and somebody actually played that. There's an option where you can actually play it, and they're in the middle of like killing zombies during Call of Duty, and there's no way to shut it off. So that song literally played from the opening to the closing, like screaming loud, like super, super loud while they're killing zombies. And like, they're just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Because they had no way to shut it off. It just had to play to the very end. And, it's so good.
Oh, he must have been happy.
Yeah, right.
You know what, Ben? Because of you, I think I now changed my number 3.
Ooh. Okay, well, Jordan, what is your number 3? Your number, 3.
Yeah, so my number 3 is actually from the Schmoes Know. So it's actually Wrong Call Dana. Do you guys know about Wrong Call Dana?
Yes, from the early days.
Yeah, so that's like from the early days. That's like from the Toad Hop days, but it's like super crazy. So this random person, they call into the show, but they don't realize that she dialed the wrong number. So she thinks that she's calling it some kind of morning radio show, but they just go with it. You see Christian just be like, all right. And he's like, shh, we're just going to run with it. And so she's just she's making some kind of comments, like I think some kind of couple or something. They're like, yeah, like I can't believe like all the drama that couple's been through. It's just crazy. And so you see Christian just like, yeah, I know, crazy. Especially what happened last Tuesday. I mean, gosh, that was like insane. And like, she just plays right into it. And then at the very end, I wish you and Jessica all the best. I wish you all the best. He's like, oh yeah, I love her with all my heart. And then he even throws in a little plug. He's like, so there's this little podcast called the Schmoes Knows. We're really big friends of theirs, and this is when they air every week. And you need to tune into them. And you need to give them a like and a subscribe. Can you do that for me? And she's like, oh yeah, totally. But it's like this whole thing where the lady has like no clue that she's not talking to the people from the radio station. And at the end, you just see Christian go, that was a moment for Schmoes Know history. That was like crazy how that played out perfect. So
and they've
good.
tried to replicate it since, because Christian will occasionally get a phone call on the show, and he has always tried to replicate it, but it's never worked.
It's typically like just a toll-free call or something like.
Yeah. So like I miss having phone calls on the show. They need to find a way to incorporate having like phone calls from people on the show. I definitely miss that.
Yeah, I do too. What's shitty is
all of which will be Saul, by the way. Yeah, Saul, the bearded Saul.
I
tried many times to get online because I was off for a month a couple years ago from some surgery, and I tried every freaking day to get on the show, and I couldn't get on.
Your name's not Saul.
And every time Saul would get on, and they'd be like, "Oh, Saul's here," and I'm like, "Wait, not me. No, we're not talking about me. I'm not there."
Yeah.
One of the times he actually called, he was like, "Okay, so where did we leave off?"
Yep.
And one of the first episodes, I forget which episode of SCN, when I like made something and it was like, "Oh, from Saul Govan," and then like Kate got so excited, goes, "Oh, is that Saul?"
Yeah.
And it was like, nope, different person.
Very disappointed.
Nope, different Saul.
My favorite Saul moment was, damn it, the dog took the bacon.
Yeah.
Dog got the bacon. God damn it.
The dog got the bacon.
Alrighty. Saul, you're number 3. Oh, it looks like we've got a lot of catching up with you to do, Peggy.
Yep.
Okay, so my number 3 is the Flirt and Floss.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a punt for me, but
I'm glad you said that, because that was my number 3, and then Ben made me change it. So thank you for bringing up the flirting.
Okay, let's talk about it now then.
Yeah, we should talk about it now. Let's do it.
Because Brett is a national treasure, and everything that he does is wonderful. But the Flirt and Floss, that was That was amazing. And just
I have that T-shirt there, 50.
Anytime he was playing that, I'm the German superstar. Like,
Goes when the music cues up, that little German music that I think was created by David B. I want to say
probably.
I think so, probably. Goes and I have two of my best friends are German, so like it was just really funny to like see, and I was trying to like show them it, and then they were even laughing at it. So it's like, okay, even German people found this funny.
Good to know.
Yeah, that was right around the time I stopped watching Collider Live regularly, so I missed a lot of that Flirt and Floss.
That was
SCN. Yeah, that's when I stopped regularly watching.
So did any of you guys get this Flirt and Floss shirt with Brett and Christian on it? Because I wanted that shirt so bad, but I was at a time where I just didn't have a lot of extra funds.
I was out of time,
but I couldn't find it.
Oh, you actually have it. Right on.
Yeah. Here's the question, though. Did you guys scream "The Flirt and Floss" when they screamed it on the show?
Yes.
They had the countdown.
When I was at home, yes. Loud. When I was at work, no.
But I was home alone, so I was able to do
it. I feel really subconscious doing things like that home alone.
Right. But
what if you got an answer at home?
Yeah.
That would be creepy.
But one of the greatest moments for me, though, was when I was just tuning in and it was like, I think maybe like the second or third time after Brett had done the little like crazy hairdo on top, and they brought in the like German techno music. So I saw this video that just said like the Flirt and Floss. I'm like, what in the world? And so I clicked on it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be the most epic thing like I've ever seen from Brett and Christian. And like you just see him dancing to this techno music, and then later on they actually had the dance off where the fans could actually get on there and they could dance with him and stuff. So yeah, I saw all of that.
And I think too the best part also was the video of Brett's family. It was like, oh, come in here, Daddy has something, and then he was like, and his daughter's like,
Daddy, no,
yeah, that was really good.
That whole week was a blessing in disguise. Not just that one episode, but that whole week, because it all started with a donation thing that Harloff shaved his head, and he's like, if we get to 1,000, I'm going to show it to everybody.
Yeah,
and
that was a great moment.
Dropping hundreds of dollars every minute,
and
then he just showed the whole thing, and he said, okay, if we get to 1,500, you got to shave your head. And somehow it came out organically through the show. And then the following day, I had a shitty day and at work, and I came back, and it was just that episode just revitalized my will to live at that moment.
And then you have Video Drew as well saying, when you finally shave off the tuft, I want it.
Yeah,
and then they showed up on Mark Riley's show, and they have all the fans coming in and dancing with them.
Yep.
And then like every Schmodown personality ended up like having people in the comment section yelling "The Flirt and Floss," and Roxy was like, "What is going on? What is the Flirt and Floss?"
Yeah, it definitely was a phenomenon.
I sent one to Campia. Ben, you remember this, right? I sent one to Campia as the Flirt and Floss.
Yes,
I remember that.
And
Campia was like, he's like, what the hell is this? The Flirt and Floss?
I literally wrote, listen, I literally wrote, how could you not have heard of my name? I am the biggest musical sensation in the world since music began. And he was like, anyway.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, okay.
Like he does.
That's awesome.
Like he did with Win a Goldfish here.
Yeah, it's like, next.
Okay.
Yep, and because of that, they actually went viral on Twitter too. I think they're like top 30 or something like that. Oh yeah, 26. Yeah,
Matt,
crazy. The best thing to come out of SCN Live.
Yeah, Matt, I'm feeling kind of sorry for you that you stopped watching at that point, because when the whole COVID thing happened, I think the last episode they did in the studio with everybody was with Corey Feldman from Double Toasted. I think that was the last episode.
That was an amazing episode. Amazing.
Like the week after, they announced that they couldn't do the show, and it was just going to be Christian and Brett doing the show, and it was like I was just so depressed, and it was just so sad. I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch SCN, but I mean, I doubt that it can get me out of this bad situation that I'm in. And it was the infamous "You Don't Know Shit" episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
That episode single-handedly saved the lockdown for me.
Huh.
You don't know shit.
Yep, exactly. Just like back and forth, and they were like crying, laughing when they were doing it.
It was like,
I don't know what it was.
15 minutes of this.
It was too much for me. Just the two of them. I don't get it. It just was. I missed having the group.
Right.
I love having the group too, but I mean, I love having the group too. But the few weeks of it was just two of them. Some of the best stuff in SCN history came out of that, like Professor Crow, for example.
Yeah, and I'm not doubting that. It's just now I haven't gone back to announce this because I'm finding I don't have enough time in the day to watch all this.
Right.
Okay.
Very few things I watch now.
If you haven't watched it, then it's not gonna mean too much to you now.
Well, like I said, I'm still in the SCN group. I do follow all these guys on Twitter. I do see the highlights, so I'm aware of what's going on, but I just haven't had the chance to watch a full episode just because I don't have the time.
I feel that's me too. Like, I sometimes watch it when I can, but I've fallen off too because it's just so many people have so much content out that like just being able to watch it all at the same time, like just
an embarrassment of riches.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like I used to have like a huge list I used to watch like literally religiously, and now I've narrowed it down to basically like my top 3. So I watch every single Schmodown match. I always watch Collider Live, and then I'm really big on the action guys lately. That's just me. So I watch all their content. So that's it. Besides that, I have no time for anything else.
I never miss a Blurs in the Hood. I always watch. Those are the ones that I watch religiously.
For me, it's Strong Style with Roca and Aaron Turner. That's the one I watch. All right, Peggy.
Great, another Roca show.
What's your number 3? And you're muted again.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, Peggy. If you can hear me, please follow my voice.
No, I'm the worst with that. Ask anybody in the fucking community.
You're the Roxy of the show.
Basically. Okay, so I switched my 3 to my 4. Okay, so my 4 is Brett Sheridan. He got a tweet from somebody, and he replied saying something was an amazing feat, and he spelled it F-E-E-T. And the person corrected him, saying, you mean F-E-A-T. And he went on like a 5-minute rant about like, you know what I meant? You knew exactly what I meant. Why you gotta call me out on this shit? And I thought it was fucking fantastic because he did the whole thing. He took one breath and then he just went for like 2.5 minutes without taking another breath. I swear to God.
And the best part of that too was when he put up the other guy's tweet and corrected all of his punctuation, all of his spelling mistakes, and all that stuff. Yeah, he had a whole bunch of them in his own tweet.
And the funny thing was, Alice like called it right away, even before Brett got to the joke that he was intending to do. And I've been that person before, be like, you missed that, and no, you're ruining the whole thing. Like, I completely identified with Mark Ellis on that one.
Yeah, definitely another example of why Brett is a national treasure.
Yeah. If you mess with a sniper, you get sniped.
Exactly.
I wish you gave me the episode number or whatever, but I was just watching highlights, and that one cracked me up.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch that because I think that happened after I kind of stopped regularly watching.
Yeah, I was just watching highlight reels. So.
Yeah, hey, that's that's sometimes the best thing to do. Like a couple years ago, there was something going on at work, so I was in a shipping container of my own.
You were in a shipping container?
We had to put a shipping container across the street in our warehouse so we could have contractors come in to pay for stuff. It was this whole thing because they were tearing up concrete. Anyways, I was in there by myself, and I would go sometimes 2 hours between customers. So I actually caught up on a bunch of old Shimo's No episodes.
Gotcha.
So I hear you. Yeah. All right, 50. What's your number 3?
Okay, my number 3 was originally going to be the Zaflet and Flaus reveal, but then Bane made me change it, and fortunately for me, Saul actually covered that checklist. So I changed mine to, it was a conversation with Nakuga, Harloff, and Riley and Roxy on Collider Live. I think they were talking about the Jurassic World short film that happened.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was this year or the previous year when that short happened, but they were just, no, my bad. They were talking about Sam Neill and Laura Dern returning to Jurassic World 3. And somehow, because it was Collider Live, it sort of transitioned into a conversation about, are you going to eat a dinosaur? And of course, Roxy said yes. And Christian was like, no, how are you going to do that? And then the conversation just got weirder and weirder as they went along. And then just Cody, being Cody, played the intro music. And he usually does that to kind of like get them going, hey guys, stop talking, let's move on to a different topic. And they just ignored him. They kept talking, and he was like, he kept playing it over and over again, and Makuga and Riley just lost their minds, and then Riley just go, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I can't believe I'm saying this, Cody. Play fucking Zoobly Zoo. When he plays Zoobly Zoo, you see Riley going like this. and then it's like, I think Roxy said, well, why didn't you ask him to play Where's Rodney? So then he goes, where's Rodney? And you see Riley going like, where's Rodney?
I forgot about that. Where's Rodney?
Yeah.
I also made a video about that. I'll send it to you after the show.
Damn right.
That's cool. Nice.
Okay, so my number 2 is Josh Makuga getting scared by the Us people.
And my number,
That was a
that's
class.
my number 2 too.
Yeah, is that one you watched, Peggy?
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
Did you watch Josh Makuga getting scared by the Us people?
Oh yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 2 because goddamn, I showed that to everybody.
Me too.
Yeah, just sitting behind Roxy, like just throwing shit at her.
Like it was funny, but it wasn't like an original like concept. But like I didn't expect Makuga to be that much of a wuss. If you'll apologize.
He's legitimately that much of a wuss. He's afraid of a rat's shadow.
Yeah, like
I want to go to a horror movie with Makuga. Like I'm a wimp myself when it comes to horror movies, but I think I would enjoy like the moment if I went.
According to Ellis, it's a big mistake. He said he's never seen Makuga again in a horror movie after it.
yeah, like so back in the day when we used to do Collider behind the scenes when Perry Nemiroff hosted that
yeah.
She actually had one where she was going around asking people what their biggest fears were, and it kept cutting to Makuga over and over and over. It's like I don't like birds. I don't like the way that they look at me. I don't like the dark. I don't like squirrels with the little beady eyes. I don't like. He's just like naming all this stuff over and over, and it keeps cutting to him. And he has like about 20 things. He's just freaking like totally terrified of. And they're all real.
I was just reminded of something.
Yeah.
I was just reminded of something that I didn't put down on my list, and that was Christian's fight against the squirrels.
Yes.
Yeah. That one almost
now
made
that you just mentioned.
Not the possums. I remember the possums.
Every time I see a squirrel, I think of Christian Harloff now.
Yep. Seriously.
I was like,
I don't think I saw that one.
When I was in college, we had a bunch of squirrels at my college, and so one time I saw these 2 squirrels running around a tree, and then one of them bit the other's tail off.
Oh,
like I saw 2 squirrels get into a fight like that. It was
that escalated quickly.
Wow. Here's a question.
Yeah.
What do you guys think would be Makuga's Bogart if he ever encounters one?
Oh fuck!
What?
Yeah.
It's
Bogart from
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter movies.
Harry Potter.
Shows your most feared
This is
thing.
why I'm not an Energetum competitor.
I don't know.
I'm dying to see Makuga trying to face a Bogart because he wouldn't
It
just go.
it would be a dark shadow. It would be a dark shadow.
It would be everything. Literally
Yeah.
everything.
It's a good question to send into the afternoons when they're recording. See if he'd answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, he wouldn't actually try to battle it or just say go ridiculous. He'd just run away.
Oh yeah.
He wouldn't face the Bogart.
Sorry.
Packers lost.
Yep.
Oh. Sorry,
Hey,
Dad.
Levy.
Spoiler alert.
But yeah, and the way Makuga screams too, it just screams bloody murder like a little girl. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yep.
And we lost her again.
Makuga knows we're laughing at him right now.
I'm sure he's fine with it. Okay, Ben, what's your number 2?
Same as yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jordan, you're number 2.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 2 is actually, and I'm wondering how much of you guys have actually seen this one, but they made a little kind of like fake movie trailer for JT called The Rise and Fall of Little Evil.
Yes.
And that is like one of the greatest things ever because it talks about when he supposedly cheated in the early days of the Schmoedown, him joining the Jeff Snyder, and and like all the different heel moments, but also how he mispronounces things. Like he's almost just like this little kid who rose to greatness. Then he had a big fall, and then he's slowly making his way back up. But just like all the things that like people say, they're like Little Evil was a hero that we never knew that we all needed, but the hero that we all deserve. And like you can see like little moments of like interviewing like Mark Ellis and Mark Riley, and they're like tearing up and stuff, just like talking about JTE. And then you see JTE being interviewed, and like just the way that he just like strings together sentences, and the way that he like tries to talk about himself, and like how great and awesome he actually is. It's just like you have to kind of see it to really experience it. I couldn't do it justice, but like just the way that he just like strings everything together, and like he's so cocky and high on himself, but yet he's just comedy. Like he just opens his mouth and he's like pure comedy, just whatever he says. I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah.
This is about trial and error, and my client being on trial is an error.
Yeah, it's an error. Yeah.
Trial and
I'm a firm believer of trial and error. And I believe my client is on trial.
It's an error.
Yep. Yeah, that's the moment that made me love Bob Finstock.
And also too, in the Rise and Fall of Little Evil too, you have Ken Knapsack narrating it, and then like randomly in the middle, he just goes on to like a 1.5-minute synopsis of the movie Kangaroo Jack, and you see all these clips from Kangaroo Jack for like randomly for no reason. You're like, okay, but it's just like so funny because it's so random and out of place. So yeah.
Kidding. Yeah, like we're making
Little Evil. And boy was evil. I guess he was little.
Nah.
Yeah, she got the quotes down 50. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Saul. Number 2.
Sitting on the bus. Now you know. Now you know.
Talking to my friends. Now you know. Now you know.
Okay, the animated videos that came out of that were genius.
Yep. Yep, and I love when they played it over the intro music, and they just had that instead of intro music.
But yeah, the animated part, when they made the animated part and put that out on YouTube.
I sanitize my legs, I sanitize my caps, I sanitize you. Now you know. Now you know. I started answering the phone to people with "Now you know." How you doing? Now you know. And I'm
you know.
being in character, and it was like, what is going on with this lunatic?
Honestly, one of the most annoying parts of SCM to me.
Really?
Honestly,
I'm so sorry, Lex.
Oh,
that is the most annoying part of it.
Yeah,
I have to agree with Peggy on that one.
Wow, come on. They made a T-shirt.
Yeah,
that is mocking someone. No. They made a T-shirt for sale that is mocking someone who just voiced their opinion as a fan of the show. If I was that person that I put that Schmobot in or whatever it was, and they started making T-shirts making fun of me, I would be done with the Schmodown. I don't like it at all. I don't like that T-shirt at all. At all.
We gotta kind of have thick skin, you know. You gotta know that's what goes on. They're gonna razz the fans. They're gonna razz each other.
You come on SCN, you gotta know what
the truck up.
With the show, I thought the
you donate $20 or whatever it is to the show, and then they start selling T-shirts making fun of you. I'm sorry.
He didn't donate $20. He was in the comment section. Yeah, just randomly showed up because they didn't talk about the movie news stuff. It was like
the part with the show, like when,
but it's still a T-shirt mocking somebody. It's not cool.
With the show part, when they were like, "Oh, goes like this isn't the show," like the whole part of the show, I was fine with that. It was when they got to the making the shirt of it, which hey, you know what, make your money the way you want to make your money. But that part I didn't like was the making the shirt.
My thing is this when they beat a dead horse too long.
Yes, that as well.
I don't think that.
For me, frankly, I'd be honored just because it's like I support the show. When they're making fun of me,
you'd be honored to
have
someone.
That's the whole entire vibe of the show. To give each other crap. I feel like one of their like best friends on the show. Hey, now they're giving me crap just the way that they do each other. You know, I'd be like yes, I'm part of it. You know,
it's like they made him a character on the show.
Really? Yeah. You would enjoy that?
Yeah. I'd be so down for it. Like, I don't mind people making fun of me. Like,
I thought it was rude as fuck, and I thought it was poor form of Christian to make a fucking T-shirt out of it, and especially put what's the Walking Dead company that's not behind Schmodown?
Skybound.
Thank you. I think it was poor form to put them behind it as well.
I will say though, the Matthew Reed song was amazing. As much as I did not like them making the shirt, that song was like a banger.
Yes, I love that song.
But yeah, I have to agree with Peggy on that one. Like I'm with you on there.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are annoying on the show that I just don't totally get, the thing I don't get is Daddy's having trouble. Call an ambulance. Like I do not
Daddy
get
boy,
that. I don't think it's funny. Like the way that they make fun of like Roxy to death over and over and over again. Like I think that's just like the beating a dead horse kind of thing. I never thought it was funny from the beginning, and I'm just kind of like what is this?
It was funny at first.
I don't
it was
even get
funny for one show, and then every time Roxy came on, they did the same thing. And then anytime someone new would come on, they'd be like, "Do you think this is a man or a woman?" And like so, basically to make fun of Roxy every single time.
Yeah. So like, what is it though? Like
it's an inside joke. It's like
what does it mean? I don't know what it means. I don't get it. What does it mean?
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was funny the first time.
I don't think Christian knows what it means. It's just some random.
Hey, I'm gonna pull a Cody Hall here and let's get the show back on track.
Okay, right. Okay, insert fart noise here.
Yeah.
We still love you, Christian, and like whole crew. Like we just like just have fun and talk.
All right, what's your number 2, Peggy?
Oh, my number 2. Hang on a second. Hang on. I gotta look it up. Make sure I get the right one on my phone. Okay, my number 2 was when Michael Rappaport was on the show ripping King Kong.
Yes, I love Michael.
That was on Movie Talk.
Was it Movie Talk?
It was Movie Talk.
Does that not count?
No. I specifically asked.
Well, we can let it slide this time.
I have a safety pick if that doesn't count.
Okay.
My safety pick was.
I don't fuck with Godzilla. I don't fuck with Spider-Man.
No, that is like I'll be in the movie if you want me to be. Fuck this shit.
All respect to people who do. I'm glad this movie's working. I'm glad this movie's making money.
It cracked me up.
Your safety.
Then, okay, does the decision count then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then that's my number 2.
Okay.
My number 2.
Showdown thing, but
I love Clark Wolf. I love the Shire Wolves.
Amen.
But Clark Wolf is probably the most underappreciated Schmodown contestant that I've granted, I told you I've only been watching this shit. I've tried to backtrack as much as I can, but that woman knows her shit. And then all respect to Rachel Cushing. Rachel Cushing's one of the goats. She should be on the fucking Schmodown, like Mount Rushmore or whatever. Yes. But Clark Wolf's talent and knowledge is so underappreciated. Even as much as it is appreciated, it's underappreciated. Mm-hmm. She's amazing.
Enough.
She's amazing, and the whole fact that the Wolves of Steel were formed and the Patriots were formed, that was a great moment. That's my number 2.
That was the very first wrestling storyline they introduced into the Schmodown.
Yeah, and they made it like a huge moment. I wish they would do more big moments like that.
1985, that's how Macho Man Randy Savage picked Miss Elizabeth as his manager. They did the whole all these people trying to recruit him, saying like this is why I think we would be good together. Then he picked Miss Elizabeth. It exactly played out the exact same way in the decision.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to do more huge moments like that. They need to do it like that. That was one of the coolest things.
Well, don't be surprised if when they get back into the studio that they will.
Yeah, right.
Because I know that they had a lot of plans this year, and COVID kind of like ruined everyone's plans.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
So I can see next year like some really awesome storylines happening. Because I know like Andrew Guy had some storylines that ended up not happening because COVID, and they couldn't do it.
Was it COVID or was it the Schmominati?
True.
Right.
That is true.
Yeah, that's Andrew Guy.
But I mean, like they only had like so much time in their old studio days because they were doing it at Collider like for 1 day a week, right? If they get their own,
they were doing it, I think, on Saturdays.
Yeah, they'll be able to do all this stuff.
Yep.
Okay, 50. You're number 2.
Okay, here's my number 2, and what I believe to be the definitive best Mark Riley moment.
Ooh, okay.
This is not a big fucking deal.
Yep. No, they were making fun of him for his nails. Is that what it was?
They were talking about his nails, and the funny thing is, they were just talking about
Wolverine nails.
No, not before that. Luke Perry passed away, and they were just having this emotional moment, and they were just really sad about it. And Christian was like, "Okay, there's no easy way to move on from this, but let's move on." On the moving up. Your nails again. What the fuck?
Yeah.
He was like, and Riley kept trying to steer the ship back on course. And they just kept mentioning his nails, and Makuga and Hanov was just like a ping pong ball, was just bouncing off weird ideas, and they were calling him Wolverine and stuff, and they just said all these stupid things. And Roxy was like, she was trying to defend him. She was like, you know they're going to make fun of you, right? So why do you do that? And it was just the buildup of all of that, and Riley just went, I didn't think this was a fucking big deal.
And then became a soundbite.
Big fucking deal. Jesus.
Yeah, I think
End of Tomorrow is finally getting a fucking sequel.
Yep.
Guillermo del Toro's gonna direct a fucking J.J. Abrams movie with. Look at that. I lost my place. What are we talking about? So something like that. And Cody actually made a soundbite out of it. It's sort of like the So Sorry Lex, but it's kind of like something that happened on the show where it happened. It was an embarrassing moment for Riley, but they just went with it. And Cody made a soundbite out of it. They made fun of it, and it's one of the best moments in Collider / Schmo history, and I just love it.
Yeah.
That's a definition. Do you think that's beating a dead horse? I'm curious to know.
It's not, because I don't think it was done all that time. It was usually only used when Riley had something to say. But I think the difference between that and So Sorry Lex is that they were doing it to themselves as opposed to doing it to a fan. I think that's the difference.
All right.
Wait, how is it to themselves?
Because
it was Riley.
Yeah, because it was Mark Riley who's part of the group.
Someone who's part of the show.
Yeah.
But he was legit pissed at that
for sure.
moment in time. Yeah.
So, we've all had those moments where like enough's enough.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so my number one's already been talked about. It was the drunk movie fights, which I'm probably going to go watch after this. I'm not going to watch.
That deserves a rewatch.
My number one has already been talked about as well.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right, Jordan, you're number one.
All right, so my number one is a little bit of a cheat, but it's kind of encompasses quite a few things, but I think it deserves a number one. It's just Cody Hall. SEN Live needs Cody Hall or somebody that can do what Cody Hall does, because it is not the same without it. Just all the sound bites, like he's just he's like a masterful DJ back in the booth. He just has all the sound bites perfectly queued up at the exact perfect time. And then when he first started out, they started doing the little fun facts. I don't know if anyone remembers that. I love that. They'd pop up on the screen, and they have the little whiteboard, like we said before, that he would just like raise it up like that, And then he would just like do crazy things. Yeah, like he would zoom in on people's faces, like just at like random times when they're doing awkward, weird things. Or he'd put someone up on the screen. Remember one time he had like a really weird kind of like awkward, gruesome looking cat, and he's zooming in back and forth over and over and over again. And then
I remember that.
Yeah, and then he would just put like just like the like funniest things up on the screen. Even during the Schmoes Nose days, there's one time in particular I remember where Christian was having one of his epic rants at the trolls and just going off, and then in the little overlay you just see him write, "Don't come into the store," or no, "Don't come into his store with your underwear off." He just writes that randomly because he's just freaking out, just going like just for like 5 minutes straight at the fans. And so like he just like does the most random things, but at the perfect timing though. Like he just has the perfect time, and you can even tell when they would have somebody fill in, it just wasn't Cody Hall. Like they couldn't get that exact timing right. They couldn't do it. And then he would play things like his name is John Cena, like over and over. Just like, oh yeah, he was just so good. And I always feel like if I can ever get to it's like any kind of like SCN Collider meet and greet, it's like Cody Hall's the person I want to meet first. That's the guy I'm going to go to first and just like say thank you for all you did for the show, and you need to be on like more, like you're being underutilized. So yeah,
that's another one.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
he deserves to be higher than where he is.
Yeah, he needs to be working like somewhere like in Hollywood, like big time. I feel like he has the talent.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, Saul, you're number one.
My number one goes Party in the Fart Tower, Party in the Fart Tower, Party in the Fart Tower.
I forgot about
it. Party in the Fart Tower.
Who's still in farts at the Fart Tower?
Fart Tower.
Yeah, that was one of the first songs that I do remember. Yeah.
I recall them playing it again on SEN, but I was never around for the inception of it, so it really doesn't have the same. It doesn't carry the same weight with me.
That's one of the few that actually crossed over to SEN.
Yeah, so actually, one of the times I actually put it on SEN was actually after a comment that I put in. Actually, I can't remember what the comment was. It's been so long ago. I remember that I put into some kind of comment about a fart or something like that, and then it just went off into like an epic fart rant or a fart tower dance for like 5 minutes. Everybody's just dancing. So, yeah.
One of these days, I want to do a huge playlist of just songs from the SEN stuff and the Collider, and just put Party in the Fart Tower, So Sorry Legs, and The Bagel Boy, all these songs, and just play it to random people just to see what they think about it. To people who've never even watched any of these shows, just to see what they think about it.
And let's not forget No Rhyme, No Reason in there.
Yep.
Motherfucker, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you make a playlist like that,
I will
that
do
50
that.
Shades, you gotta send it to me because I definitely want a playlist like that. I've been trying to find like one spot to get all those sound bites.
Yeah.
All right, Peggy, you're number one.
Mine is a little bit of a cheat, but I do not give a damn. My number one moment is anytime Cal the Schmo Dog was on camera.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. I work with dogs all day long. That's all I do. And I can just tell from the clips that I saw, Cal was an amazing goddamn dog.
Yeah.
And anytime he was on camera, that's my favorite part. That is my favorite part. I love Molly. I know all the clips I watched of all the old stuff. Molly was never on the Schmoes. No, this is stuff that I saw.
Yeah.
I love Molly too. Don't get me wrong. Molly, you're amazing.
And Leia is also.
And Leia
is an interesting dog.
And I love Piggy Smalls. I'm a big fan of Schmo Dog.
Yes, big fan of Piggy
My
Smalls.
my number one Schmo Dog, or whatever moment is Schmo Dog Pets or Schmo's Pets. That's my number one.
When Cal the super dog died, it reminded me of when the big guy passed away. How just banded together.
Yeah, like it really shows that
like
the community that they've built. Like they really built like that family vibe that like everyone came together. They sent Mark Riley all kinds of like blankets with this picture on, and like mugs and all kinds of crazy, cool tributes. Just like like I was really blown away.
I agree with you. Is right. I realized Schmoville's not a community. Schmoville's a family.
It is.
We look out for each other.
Yep. That's number one reason why I stuck with it.
I'm very partial to the doggos.
Oh, I love
it. Very partial to the doggies.
Did you guys see the moment the crew found out?
No.
Yes.
It was on Collider.
It was on Collider Live.
I don't know if I can handle that.
No, it wasn't live. It was Jedi Council.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Did they get a text message about it or something?
And got the text. They were talking about it on Collider Live, but it was when they were recording Jedi Council. Cal got the text and he did this face, and Christian's like, "What is it? Bad news?" And Ken's like, "Yeah, I didn't make it." And then that was it.
Oh yeah,
it was. Yeah. You see the heartbreak on their faces.
Dogs are the best.
And then after that too, they actually did an episode of Afternoons with Josh and Ken where it was all dedicated to Cal the Schmoda. Yeah.
Yeah, and they did the Cal voice.
Yep.
Hey, here, buddy.
Yep. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, that is my number one.
Yeah, I that's a good number one. Yeah, Cal is something special.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. I just from seeing clips, I could tell he was a damn good dog. He was a damn good dog.
Yeah, that's the kind of dog I want when I actually can get into a place that allows dogs.
Yep, that's like one of your like true best friend dogs right there. Yeah. Ride or die.
Yep.
Like my dog
right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome.
Okay, and then on that
my dog Sandy passed away last month.
I'm sorry, FD.
My condolences.
But it's okay. Sincerely. She's with me. She's with me wherever I go from now on.
Is that the dog tag?
Yeah. No. It's a necklace.
Yeah, but what's on the necklace?
Please don't tell me that's ashes.
Okay. My cousin did that with her cat, actually.
I've never understood that. That's just weird to me. But to be sure, everyone has their grieving processes.
That's pretty cool.
I have a morbidly funny joke, and it's so when my first dog passed away, we had them do a print of his paw, so like kind of thing, and to put his name on it. The one we received was one from a much smaller dog that said Bob on it.
Oh, shoot.
Our dog's name was Jack and was a golden retriever that was like 90 pounds. And we got this little piece of shit dog paw print named Bob.
I'm sure it was not funny in the moment, but
what?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's very funny in hindsight.
a little insight into myself. I am deathly afraid of anything that's dead. Okay. And my grandparents had this dog that actually started out as my mom's dog. It was called, my mom named her Baby Girl for some stupid reason. She was a little Chihuahua who got really fat and only walked on 3 legs. First time I met her, she shit in my pillow while I was lying down. But no, we loved her so much that when she passed away, it's the only time I've ever been able to touch anything dead. Just like I pet her the one last time, you know?
Yeah.
It was really, really weird. Yeah. What she used to do is when you'd be sitting on the couch and you'd be petting her and you'd stop, she'd look at you and then she'd take her paw, she'd hit you in the hand. Yeah.
My dog did that as well.
Yeah.
It's like a cruel joke that God plays on all of us, where like dogs only live 10 to 15 years or so, but like humans live like so much longer. So you're gonna see your pet pass away at some point. And it's just like,
yeah, I never grew up with any dogs because I live in the same building as my parents and we're not allowed animals in here. But so my grandparents' dogs were my dogs in a sense. So yeah, I can't wait to see them all again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on that note, 50, what's your number one?
Okay. My number one is a bit of a no-brainer, but it's not well, it is funny, but it's a bit more emotional. It was the one moment from Collider Live. A lot of Collider Live moments, I just noticed. But yeah, it was the moment in Collider Live when Christian decided to play one of my videos on the show.
Yes.
It's the soundbite video challenge that I did. And, well, needless to say, that video saved my life because I was on the brink of suicide on that particular. It was the 3rd time in my life that I was contemplating taking my own life, and because you got to understand, I was in a really, really shitty place. I just had this person come into my life, and he was a con artist, and he kind of, to put it bluntly, he kind of conned me out of all my money that I had at the time. I was this close to living on the streets. I didn't have money to buy food. I didn't have money to buy a chewing gum. And it was just a random video that I decided to do on a whim. One day, just sitting on my couch saying random bullshit into a microphone and putting it on the Collider Live Facebook group. And within minutes, Christian responded to it, and Dagnino responded to it, and literally the next week I went up north. I had some surgery related to the thing I did with my hair that I talked about last time I was on the show. So yeah, I was doing this medical procedure, and while I was coming back, I looked at my YouTube feed, and I'm suddenly seeing notifications. People are subscribing to my channel left and right. Like, it was like 30 people, and I was like, what happened? Where did this came from? And then I came back and I just looked at the Facebook group, and it was actually Thrawn 2K5 called me up, and he said, dude, they played your video on the show today. And I was like, what? And even though it was like to midnight and I had work the next morning, I stayed up all night watching that episode, waiting, and it was at the very end of the episode, but it was like, I was blown away because I've been following these people for years now. They've made me laugh every time, and that was my turn to make them laugh, and it literally changed my life, and it gave me reason to keep on going, and purpose. It gave purpose back to my life. Wow. And I most likely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that one moment. And I believe I actually said that to Christian a number of times, and I will be eternally grateful. And I don't care how many people shit on me because I love to watch SEN or the Schmodown. I don't care how much people think that I'm a child for laughing at Christian doing fart noises. I owe this man my life. And yeah, so if someone from the outside watches me enjoying and having fun with the SEN crew, and he thinks I'm weird because I am enjoying this kind of show,
and we're all weird.
Yeah. So
and
one,
again,
fuck
We're
that
all
guy
on the
who
island of
conned you.
misfit toys, buddy. We're all on the island of misfit toys.
One, fuck that guy who conned you. Goes, he's an asshole, and fuck him. Goes, and two goes, we're so glad that you're here with us. So and three goes, who gives a shit? Goes, if people think it's weird that you like something, like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I am 100% that. I've actually been in a similar situation where if I had to move back to my hometown, I probably wouldn't be here either. So, yeah, I on behalf of all of us, I say we're glad you're still around, 50 Shades, because you're a fucking funny dude.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that was a touching moment. Like, I kind of want to clip that out and put it, like, on the Schmodown page or something, like, or like SEN or something, because, like, I bet that would mean a lot to those guys.
Yeah.
All right.
No, because like you never know the effect you have on somebody else. You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
And once again, just like you said there, Matt, this whole thing is not a community; it's a family, and we all stick together, whether or not we know about it or not. So
yeah,
that's like the same way with me in movies. Like why I love watching movies so much. I've been like had some pretty dark days myself. I've dealt with some depression and stuff too, and like movies for me are just an escape, and the way that SEN and Collider, all this stuff they've been able to combine movies into like this just crazy, just super fun family community where there's a lot of humor and just nonsense and all this amazing stuff. To me, has been something pretty special, and movies to me are just an escape, because it kind of like music for some people also, like that's also a big one for me. It's like they're never really going to let you down very often. I mean, you can always go back to your favorites, and your favorites are always going to be there for you. And whenever you're sad or you're depressed or you're feeling lonely or whatever it might be, even if you're angry or just whatever, like you can always turn to that kind of stuff, and it's like it's always going to be there to help cheer you up. So.
Do what makes you happy, because life is so short anyways. You got to do what makes you happy.
Yep.
Exactly.
And that's why I don't like the Lex t-shirts.
Oh.
all right.
Makes sense.
Fair enough.